All right, welcome back to Jumble versus Kitchaze here at DeadbyOCE. As we're going to have an exciting set here. It's going to be Cenobite, Deathslinger, and Blight coming through. Actually, another Cenobite set back to back. So we're going back to DDS, but the back two killers coming up as well. Deathslinger and Blight going to be very entertaining to see, very micro heavy and micro intensive. And yeah, these APAC kills are very, very enjoyable to watch. So those will be coming up very, very soon. But to start off the Cenobite, bit more of a macro heavy style as opposed to a micro, I'd say. So gonna be interesting to see the way the survivors and the killer players around the Dead Dog Saloon.
Yeah, I'm not quite familiar with the APAC teams in the division, but from the games that I have watched, they are very, very exciting. But I'm not too sure whose favor this will be to go towards tonight. But
Box logic tonight.
The box logic is just insane from all teams. Gucci coming in clutch, finding that box just straight away, and does have info on where everyone is at the moment, and does seem to take chase on some, not too quite sure who this is, but they're just getting destroyed by the chains. This is going to be Carla on the Kate, getting caught at this pallet, and
oh my god, the patience!
Gucci just waiting a little bit too long to swing through that. Nice stun coming in from Carla, and it's going to be taking chase around the shops area, but these chains are just absolutely annihilating her. But we do see the box being solved on the main building, but I think Gucci wants to commit to Carla here. Really nice dodge of the chain there, actually able to make Shaq and not choosing to drop it, which is really interesting, but might try and greet it one more time, but no, actually going to make her way back to this front of the main pallet, saving that Shaq pallet for later on, I guess. But does get caught out here, doing a really good job at just kind of holding W, but as I say this, but does go down in the pallet. That is a pretty quick down for Gucci.
Yeah, not dropping that Shaq a bit of an interesting decision there, but something to note here on the builds as well is no corrupt intervention on Gucci, so there's already gen progress like right off the bat. So taking a bit more of a, let's say, greedy ability, especially with the sloppy Butcher, maybe trying to play a bit more around the end game, the 3v1, trying to hold a 3-gen here. So I think it's definitely possibly doable, but he does have a hook on the top side of the gen split right now. All the gens are mainly on this bot side. We're going to be seeing Rizumu dodging out on that chain, but going to get that pop. And with that pain res as well, going to get some decent regression across the map here. But Gucci, yeah, he probably wants this 3v1 as quick as possible with this build he has currently. Get a few quick tags and could be in a decent spot, but you know, so far we do see the side of Kitchaze taking full advantage of the fact there was no corrupt, and Gucci just maybe going to try and pull, actually force the second stage before a pull comes through. Maybe they last second save, I'm not too sure what the idea is, as we're going to be seeing Faffy maybe coming in for a pull, but just going to be taking a tag here and not actually trading.
Yes, I didn't even notice that Gucci didn't even bring corrupt before, but yeah, they were able to break that 3-gen at Gallows, which is kind of huge for them, but getting the unhook onto Carla right in front of Gucci just allows Gucci to get this tunnel out faster, which I assume this is exactly what they're doing. Really nice chain from Gucci there, and these chains are just stopping Carla from getting more distance and not opting to par towards that pallet. And this might actually result in another quick down, but going to be, yeah, trying to take chase at the main building, but is going to be forcing a locker grab here. And yeah, that tag coming through from Faffy before was kind of a mistake from the Kitchaze side. And with only one gen popped, I can't imagine there's enough gen pressure, but as I say it, we do see another gen pop in the distance. I guess perks of no corrupt being in the game allows them to jump onto gens quicker. It's kind of not a really bad split for the Kitchaze survivors, but we do see, I think this might have been a double on this Gallows gen. It does have a lot of progress, and I think Gucci's just going to go and pop this, take some regression onto that gen, and it's going to be returning to hook, maybe trying to get that tunnel out, cut off anyone who's trying to save. I think it was Riz who was working on that water tower gen, or was around this area from memory, but do see a little bit of progress onto this gen. And yeah, I think, oh, we do see some scratch marks. I think this might be, yeah, it was Riz stealthing away from that gen. Oh, Gucci just kind of getting a bit ambitious with that swing,
no
but
hands again.
Gucci, no hands again, indeed, Peps. No hands again, but yeah, we do see the pull come through onto Carla, and Y is actually trying to taking a body for Carla, just giving her some more time to survive a little bit longer, but I feel like this is going to be a really quick tunnel out at 3 gens.
Yeah, no, Gucci doing a good job here to get the tunnel, and as you said before, every tag here that Gucci gets, especially when it gets down to the 3v1, is going to happen very, very shortly, with Pop in play and all these pain reses coming through. It might be too hard for them to come back, but at the same time, though, this gen split is absolutely monstrous. So, you know, if the side of Kitchaze here can get some resets coming through, potentially, play it a bit slower, I think they could probably get all gens completed, especially with a bit of gen progress being done on several of these gens at the moment. It's going to be seeing Resumu heading into the main building at that back window vault, but the bamboozle are going to be coming through, so not be able to get to that one yet again. It's going to be seeing Resumu. It's going to be getting tagged here, say, momentarily. Going to be trying to maybe table him there, maybe a little bit of a bar tech coming through, but not quite as Resumu. Going to be getting tagged here, and he's just more interested in the box right now, which is being solved by Y. We haven't seen him the entire game, actually, so maybe getting a nice little 1v1 here with this box, and kind of baiting him to come for him as well, just constantly right-clicking and tapping, as you're going to be seeing Y trying to play for this window. It's going to be missing that chain, which will give him access to that vault as well, but actually just going to be playing inside Shack, forcing that bamboozle, and should be able to make it and wrap back around again to that pallet, I'd say.
Yeah, and I couldn't help but notice before, but we did see Y pick up the box and then get reset before solving it. So that's actually quite a smart play to go for, because now Y can just take the chase while the other 2 survivors are probably just cranking out gens. I don't think they would be resetting at this point. I think they just want those last 2 gens done. But Y is playing extremely well, considering that they do have the box in their hands. Playing this chase extremely well, and especially having access to that Shack pallet that wasn't dropped earlier by Carla, making this chase just extend for so much longer, and just playing this extremely well, and able to actually make it back to Shack. And we do see a gen pop in the background and a reset coming off onto Faffy. So I think they might be just resetting at this point, knowing that maybe Y is going to go down very soon, and the chain hunt is going to be starting, and we do see the reset. So Gucci has a really good idea of where they are, so he can just go and interrupt that after hooking.
Yeah, Y absolutely coming in clutch here for Kitchaze. They really needed a good chase, and yeah, maybe Gucci tying a little bit too hard there on that box, but you know, it will get the chain hunt started now. But I don't know, maybe you didn't have to hard commit to that box. You did have several pain res, yet 2 other injured survivors with Pop goes the Weasel in play as well. Could have played around that, but I mean, the decision was made, and he eventually got that down. So we do see the box getting tapped yet again, but this time I'm going to guess it would probably be yeah, it's going to be actually Resumu being injured already. Can actually get a bit of a chain hunt snowball here, as well as he does secure another box in his pockets. Resumu going to be going down, and this is going to be giving away another pain res as well. So Gucci actually not in the worst spot, even though it's down to 1 gen, and it was looking a little dicey there for a second.
Yeah, I think Gucci is in a really good spot now. Having that chain hunt active and being able to actually down the person with the box immediately, just putting the survivors in a really tough position, because it's now forced them to actually go and find the box and solve it, because, you know, as we all know, you can't really do a gen when there's chains just attacking you every second. And we do see Faffy here, our healthy survivor, going to be taking chase at this, what we would call 1, but going to be leading Gucci to the main building. And Gucci is just forced to drop chase. I think he wants to find Riz, maybe, working on the box. Playing it very, very aggressive for the box, which I really like to see. Just gives Gucci so much control over the game.
Yeah, he's just keeping a constant box snowball here, and I think we're seeing the sloppy butch and the playstyle he wanted to go from his plan from the start of the game kind of come into play. Actually getting the fast fault there as the chains hit. Really nice timing there for him. Well, these chains are constantly going, but actually just not hitting Resumu, but will be going down very, very shortly, heading in the box yet again. He actually knows that gen's being double right now. But with the chain hunt coming through and a potential pain res coming through as well, this will actually maybe secure Gucci, as he actually is trying to panicking a little bit here, trying to find the hook he wants. But so this is a pain res hook and he can get it any time. I think Gucci might be looking at a 4K1 here potentially. Yeah,
100%. This is looking like a 4K1, and Gucci being able to have 3 stacks of pain res just up his sleeve has come in really clutch in this 3v1 at 1 gen. And Gucci is just does not want them to just Gucci really said, don't touch my box because, you know, and he has no hands again. Look at that. But he's going to be taking chase onto Faffy with the box, just going aggressive and trying to make this chain hunt last as long as possible, making it really difficult for Kitchaze to get that last gen done. And that is going to be the down. And we do see Riz and Y are doubling that same gen as earlier, but this is another pain res for Gucci. So it's just going to stop them from getting that gen done, and the chain hunt does begin again. This is just looking really painful for Kitchaze right now.
Yeah, it looks like absolute pain right now for Kitchaze, considering I feel like this gen has probably been close multiple times, I'm going to guess as well, considering they're trying to bait him away from it. But Pain Res is coming in at clutch times, getting those downs when he needed them. And it feels like forever since the Survivors have gone even a brief period of time here with their chain hunt being active. As we just hear and Meg up at the top of main just constantly getting impaled. We see Y picking up the box and Gucci immediately leaving, wants his property back and is just hunting out for it.
Yeah, Gucci just does not want them touching his box at all. Yeah, it's just, as I said before, just really painful for Kitchaze, and Gucci is just able to shut this down so fast as well. These chains are just disgusting, and Gucci is opting to slug this and go for Riz, who is probably going to be coming in for the unhook onto Faffy, but I assume at this point they're probably just stealthing, but as I say it, we do see some scratchies and a sound notification of that vault, and Gucci has a pretty decent idea of where Riz is. Yeah, this is looking like a 4K1 for Gucci, which is a really good result for Cenobite on the Dead Dog Saloon, and I think I just heard the box near where Gucci was, but I think he's more concerned about Riz. He does spot Riz at the main building. Riz going to take Gucci for one last godlike chase. Let's see what Riz can do. Just one last juicer for the entertainment. Going to be taking that window. I think that was life. I'm not too sure about what exhaustions are allowed on Cenobite, but would you see was it an unbreak onto Y just then?
No, he actually lied into a pickup onto Y just then. So getting the pickup, and yeah, I think basic tier like exhaustion perks are allowed, well, with the exception of balance, obviously, because that was quite. Oh my god! Well, I try to go for the spin, but not quite going to be coming through Gucci. Not going to get clipped today, as we see Riz just kind of M1ing it away on that gen at main. I don't know how close it is, but just looks like they want to commit. It is actually at like 2%, so never mind. That was just working on a gen for some reason, but Rizumu can continue chase in main, trying to maybe trip him up, maybe try and clip Gucci here, but Gucci has actually played this game out so well, especially with the perk choice he had as well. No corrupt intervention at the start, so had to have high tempo and just constantly getting those boxes just made up for the difference there, and then some. Securing a 4K1, especially on Cenobite, is a really good result coming into here, and definitely going to have Jumble being happy heading to the survive side.
Yeah, I think Gucci was probably feeling pretty confident. I mean, Cenobite was Jumble's pick, and I can definitely see why. Gucci is really amazing with their box logic. This is a nice little interaction we have here, very wholesome. I do enjoy it. One last little 1v1 at this pallet. I think Gucci just trying to get a nice chain hit onto Riz here, and is probably going to be going down. No, actually doesn't get the hit there. Riz just playing this 1v1 for their life. Playing this little pallet.
Play for bleed out.
Play for bleed out. Exactly. Riz just still staying at this pallet. Oh, and the stun and the blind coming through. This is a really nice little last chase.
Yeah, Rizumu having a bit of a juicy chase here, but you know, it's all oh my god, Rizumu just vaulting at the right time. They're gonna be getting over that pallet, but yeah, no. Gucci missing a chain, just nodding. But yeah, good sportsmanship here. Nice little entertaining chase to round it off, as we're going to be seeing Rizumu break away here to another filler pallet and actually going to be able to not drop it in time. Unfortunately, I thought for a Mersto to get that, but Gucci not quite going to be playing at that bleed out time. I don't think it would have really made a difference anyway, but the 4K1 eventually being secured here for Gucci, and yeah, not a bad result here. Actually, never mind. Y just crawled over to Gucci, so good sportsmanship here. you know, acknowledging they went for that 1v1. Gonna give him the stages here, and yeah, the 4K one coming out, a really insane result here on the Cenobite. And I'm pretty excited to see what Jumble can do in Survivor.
Yeah, that was a really entertaining game to watch. 4K1 is an amazing result for Gucci, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what Kitchaze can do. I'm not too sure who would be playing killer for Kitchaze, but I'm very excited to see it. And I'm excited to see the builds that come through too, because I know that APAC teams like to run some pretty unique perks, which is really awesome to see. But yeah, we're going to be taking a short break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Jumble versus Kitchaze, where we just saw Gucci from Jumble achieve a 4K1 result on the Cenobite on Dead Dog Saloon. So actually a really decent result for Jumble there, making this a kind of a tough win con for Kitchaze on the killer side, but it is definitely something that is achievable. And we are going to be loading in, and Yakun is playing the Cenobite for Kitchaze. So I have seen Yakun play killers in the past, and he is pretty decent at his M1s, so I'm very excited to see how this goes. Opting to bring Corrupt instead of Bamboozle. So this might be a little bit tricky for chase-wise, not being able to block over those windows, but we do see this was our Meg King Lion running at the water tower, dodging out that chain really nicely and playing this pallet really, really well, and taking the vault too, and dodging another chain. Just a really good start in this chase. And we do see the box being solved in the background, but that is going to sorry, the voice line made me chuckle a little bit, but we do get a tag onto King Lion there, and you're kind of just opting to drop this chase.
Yeah, no, just gonna drop this chase here. I think. Oh no, actually, he does hear King Lion still around the shack here. Doesn't have access to that bamboozle. It's not gonna be quite as fast as he wants it to be there on that vault. Barely missing the chain as well with no bamboozle. No, not gonna like to do an extra loop. Wants to guarantee that pallet drop, get towards that top side of the map. Potentially gonna be making it into the main building. But maybe if there's a head-on play, I'm not too sure. Probably not. But a body. Wait.
Oh, wait. Oh.
It wasn't head-on in play. It just was
not the right person.
Just not the right way around, or maybe they'll try to go. I'm not too sure what the hitboxes are like. Maybe they're just going for like a guaranteed save with the head-on. I'm not too sure if you time it right with the double locker if it'll work or not. I'm gonna guess that was probably the play they were going for, but it didn't quite pan out there, as we did see the Taco jump out of that locker. Not quite gonna get that save, and now King Lion on that hook, and you know, with the Taco wasting time there. You know, maybe they're a bit more behind the gens they would like to be, but at least he didn't give away a tag as the save does come through. But Yakun is more interested on this box all the way at the water towers. This chain will be coming through. If he can get a quick tag here, maybe a quick down, and successfully get this chain hunt active, he'll be in a decent spot. But Yakun will be swinging through at that window, but there's no Dwight at home, as he's going to be missing that chain additionally as well. Lively on the Dwight, going to be trying to break away here after that tag, and not a bad start here for Jumble.
Yeah, absolutely. Despite the little hiccup despite the little hiccup that happened earlier with the lockers, it's actually that King Lion did have a pretty decent first chase. And Itoko coming in for the body for Lively here. But this is going to be another pain res hook, and with 2 survivors injured, they did get some resets coming through. I can't imagine there'd be a lot of gen pressure happening right now, but we do see the reset coming off onto King Lion. I'm assuming Lion and Lively are probably resetting somewhere safe, while Vermilion is probably cranking out these gens. But I think I just saw a little head here. This is King Lion here. Actually, not our pain res survivor. This is our second stage, or you might be trying to go for maybe a tunnel out here. But didn't actually return to the hook earlier when they did get pulled. But we do see the unhook coming off onto Itoko in the background. And Yakun's just going to commit to King Lion here at the main building, not having access to that bamboozle, but doesn't need it anyway, because these chains are just doing all of the work right now, absolutely destroying Lion, but actually does make this window, which is huge, and does have this, I think it still does have this front of main pallet to work around, but the head-on actually works this time. amazing head-on coming from Itoko here, dropping this pallet and kind of getting stuck here. This is probably going to be another quick down. Yeah, it was a really good start for Jumble, but it kind of seems to be falling apart a little bit now because we're still sitting on 4 gens, and it seems the other survivors are a little bit out of position and not sitting on gens.
Yeah, no, that was really clutch there, though, from Itoko, because as you saw there, we saw some aggression come through from Yukun, getting those 2 freshes, but then returning to that tunnel later on. I think it's actually not a bad play to be hyper-aggressive and play right now, especially with the hook changes. I do not mind the playstyle at all, but Itoko also coming in with the head-on, additionally, was also a second stage survivor, so yeah, a little bit of a slip-up there now, because he's now going to be that new tunnel-out target from Yukun to go for. And yeah, I was about to say Yukun probably just happy to return back to hook here, play around this tunnel out, because they're gonna have to pull very, very shortly.
Yeah, and I think we do see Vermilion here, which is one of our fresh hook survivors. Yukun
there we go.
Yukun doesn't really have a 3-gen to play around. I think achieving that 4K1 win con, having a 3-gen to work around would be kind of the best play in my opinion, but we do see the pull coming through onto Itoko, but Yukun just wants this tunnel out, trying to make it a 3v1 as soon as possible, which I think he is going to get. And I think this is the BT run out, and Itoko is just going to go down pretty instantly. And with King Lion being slugged as well, this is actually not looking too great for the Jumble survivors right now.
Yeah, considering this is Jumble's pick, this is looking rather dicey at the moment. Kitchaze in a prime position right now to take this first set, which would be a little bit of an upset here. It would be really amazing to see, and a pop is going to be coming through on this 99 gen. That is absolutely painful onto the side of Jumble to see that happen. But yeah, you couldn't just now got to look for King Lion, trying to get this hook, and he will additionally be a second stage survivor as well, so maybe you can get a 2v1 happening at potentially around like 3 gens depending, because if they touch that gen, it's going to get popped yet again. So Yukun at a pretty amazing spot to see Lively actually grab the box, but he's nowhere near the gen, so I don't think Yukun is going to be that, you know, he's not going to go his way for that. I don't think he's more interested in this pop goes the weasel, wants to maintain this gen. Not really much of a 3-gen, but wants to maintain the regression going, keep it happening. And yeah, no, Yukun in a prime spot now, just kind of in the middle of the map, just going to zone these survivors, and the only person who can go for the pull right now is probably Lively, so, you know, pretty confident no one's on these gens.
Yeah, I think Yukun is feeling pretty happy right now, pretty comfortable. He did have a pretty good idea of where Lively was in that one corner solving the box before, so Yukun is doing a really good job at zoning Lion's teammates from getting this unhook, but we do see Lively actually wrapping around to get that unhook, and Yukun is just going to try and cut them off and stop them. Probably going to get a tunnel out onto King Lion here. As you said before, making it a 2v1 be absolutely huge for Yukun. This is, and with everyone injured at the moment too, and with not much gen progression happening, this is looking really, really dicey for Jumble, but I think King Lion just needs to have a really nice chase here. Does have a few pallets to work around, but unfortunately not quite making it in time, and that's going to be the death onto King Lion at 3 gens. With a 2v1 at 3 gens, this is really tough. I'm not too sure what Jumble can do to bring this back.
I think right now, if you're Jumble, you're probably thinking, okay, we're playing for that 4K1 Tycon, but if you can't make that happen, you're definitely thinking potentially a bleed out here as well, because that's definitely something on the cards here, something that can maybe net you a win. But I just don't see how he can pop 2 more additional gens in this situation, especially with Pop double injure with a sloppy Butcher in play as well, so you couldn't in prime position to take this set, but you know, still needs to get these downs, still needs to secure it, but yeah, Jumble maybe have to resort to some pretty dicey tactics, I would say.
I think the best thing Jumble can do right now is try and get a reset somewhere safe, and then split gens and just try and go for some really good chases. But we do see Lively trying to work on this gen near Water Tower, just getting caught out, but I think this is going... Oh, getting that stun onto Yukun there, and there is the chain hunt active as well, which means that there will probably be no gen pressure happening from Vermilion. Vermilion's probably on the hunt for that box. Yeah, it's just, I think getting that reset off somewhere safe and getting the gens done, but we do see a gen come through from Vermilion here, and Yukun actually dropping chase onto Lively here to try and stop Vermilion. And Yukun does still have 2 pain res stacks, so he can just go for anyone at this point to get that last pain res, but I think this Water Tower gen is their next progress gen, but they need to find that box to stop that chain hunt if they want to actually jump back onto gens.
Yeah, they definitely have to stop that chain hunt. As you said, Lively picks up the box of the Deweet. Going to be trying to make some type of play here potentially, as they are 1 gen away from that Tycon. So definitely within their grasp, but they're going to have an insane chase in with Lively being stuck. I was going to say, being stuck at this backfire, not really going to be able to do a whole lot of anything, but dodging at the chain and getting a nice vault, and barely going to be making that vault as well. Lively trying his absolute best here to try and buy time for Vermilion to get this last gem, but with these chains being hit, oh my god, he searched the box instead of vaulting the pallet. I'm not too sure what happened right there, but Yukun going to secure that down with the chain hunt coming in. He's desperately making this dash over to 5. He does not want this to pop, because if this does, that is the Tycon met, and he will be able to interrupt it in time. But yeah, it's going to be pretty much impossible for Lively to last another 70 seconds at that one pallet, so Yukun going to secure that down. And now, if you're on the side of Jumble, you're probably thinking bleed out at this point, I'd say, because I don't see a way you can get a gen done here unless you maybe cheese it somehow.
Yeah, I think bleed out is probably the best thing they can do, and I think Yukun has registered that that's something that could happen, so he's going to take the hook onto Lively here, who is our fresh hook survivor, so that's going to be another pain res coming through for Yukun, and probably going to be hitting that gen at Water Tower. I'm not too sure where Vermilion... Yeah, it does hit the Water Tower gen. Yeah, I don't think there's too much that Jumble can really do here. Yukun played this entire game exceptionally well. Jumble had a really nice start with their first chase, but a few fumbles with the lockers before at main, and just kind of falling apart a little bit, but Yukun just played out of his mind this game.
Yeah, no, actually played insanely well, considering this wasn't Kitchaze's pick either, so doing an amazing job here, really standing up and taking the first set on killer here for the side of Kitchaze. So definitely the start you'd want, especially against the pick that you're up against. So we will be actually heading into Deathslinger after this as well, which is going to be very exciting. Always excited to see APAC play some Deathslinger, always fun games, and I'm not too sure we'll be playing it for Kitchaze. Then maybe Yukun has another appearance, I'm not too sure. But at this point, if you're Jumble, you're probably just thinking doors at this point. There is actually a decent split of the doors here. I think there's a door at 7 and one at 3, if I'm not mistaken. As we'll be seeing Vermilion, yeah, it's going to be stealthy for this door at 2, I think it is. The box is right next to it as well. So, yeah, definitely going to be playing for this door. Might just jump on it instantly and just hope that he gets it.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing they can really do, because Vermilion is a fresh hook. So if Vermilion can get the out, I believe that would make it a Tycon, I believe? Or would that be WinCon for Jumble? I'm not entirely sure, but a Tycon at the very least, I think? Correct me if I'm wrong, Kev.
Actually, I think it's a win for Jumble if Vermilion gets out. So it's actually pretty tense end game here. But the thing is with like Pinhead as well, is you can also scout with the chain. So he might just try and use it to scout for the door here at 1, just to see if someone's on it, so he doesn't have to go too far. But no, you're kind of just going to actually just hold W here. I think even if he started the door instantly, I just don't think he gets it. Yeah. It's really too fast to get there. Unfortunately, Vermilion is going to get spotted here. And this is definitely the win con here being met. Maybe we can get a bit of a juicy chase here from Vermilion, because we didn't really see them much this game, as we're going to be seeing a chain come out from Yukun. Nicely hit there, and Vermilion can't really make it anywhere. Going to be forced to play this cannon pallet. Might pre-drop. No, actually going to be greeting that one. And yeah, probably will be going down here, getting tripped up there. And also has Calm Spirit as well. Not hearing that sound when they went down, but nice 4K 2 for Yukun. And really exciting Cenobite here set here, as it was actually awfully close.
Yeah, that was a really amazing set to watch, and Yukun just played extremely well. Achieving a 4K2 result is huge, especially when it wasn't their pick. But that endgame was just really, that was very, very 50-50. I feel like if Yukun just chose the wrong door to go towards, it would have potentially led to Vermilion getting out and achieving them that win. But yeah, that was a really, really great game from both sides. So love to see some close games in the APAC Division. But we are going to be moving on to our next set, which is the Deathslinger on Wrecker's Yard, which is Kitchaze's pick. So we're going to be taking a short intermission and we'll be right back.
Yo, what up? Welcome back to DeadbyOCE as we're going to be back into this Jumble versus Kitchaze best of 3. Kitchaze taking the first set there, which was Jumble's pick of Cenobite, but now we're going to be jumping into Kitchaze's pick, which is Deathslinger. So they could realize, it's actually realistic here that they could take this 2-0 and have a really good choice. We're going to be seeing an urban evasion to white, stealthing towards what I think was the top side of the map. Really good. Interesting perk usage, actually, though, from the Survivor side, as it does come into play, especially on these projectile kills, being like Huntress and the Deathslinger. Can use it to dodge out some shots, so you couldn't be swinging and missing through that. And this is going to be perma-greed from Otoko on this pallet, and probably just going to run through it again. No, actually going to be getting the stun. You couldn't. The first hit here is going to be relatively delayed for a decent bit of time, as Otoko using this line of sight blockers to the max potential right now. This is the chase you probably need right off the bat here if you're going to be having a good start to the set.
Yeah, really nice shot coming through from Yakun. And I can't help but notice, but there is kind of a split corrupt on the map as well. But Yakun, Otoko is going to be taking chase towards this top side of the map. Probably going to... Oh, getting a really beautiful shot into Otoko here. That was amazing. And that's going to be a down, a very quick down, in fact. And that's going to be his first pain res. And this build as well, Agi, Pop, Pain Res, and Corrupt. I know, Peps, you are a fan of the agitation on the Deathslinger. So it's a very aggressive build, and agitation does
urban to white.
Come into the urban to white. I love to see the urban evasion come into play, but that's going to be a really quick tag onto Lively. But the survivors don't have to worry about a sloppy butcher in play here too. So these resets can come through pretty quickly, but an amazing shot from Yakun here. That is going to be another down, and we do see the unhook come off onto Otoko in the background, but that's just another pain res for Yakun here.
Yeah, I think we can see why Yakun wanted Deathslinger to be a pick. A really nice shot there coming through, and a pain res and a pop for his troubles as well. Otoko wasn't actually a pain res at the start as well, so trying to juggle this with a bit of more gen pressures. A tag will be coming through onto here. That's not, you're not quite going to be making that one king line, as Yakun going to be playing aggressively for this chase. If he can seal the deal, get the shot, and a down with a nice shot there onto King Lion, and the down is going to be dragged right back to this hook. So definitely not the place you want to go down, right next to an active gen and a hook. This could be absolutely disastrous here for Jumble.
Yeah, this is looking really dicey for Jumble right now. Yakun can kind of just sit here with the hook and King Lion slugged on the ground and just kind of not really go anywhere. He does have a 3-gen up this bottom side of the map that he can work around. Yeah, just not a good start for Jumble, and I assume Lion is just going to be crawling away, maybe try and get picked up from someone else. But Vermilion and Otoko just have to make a play here and try and turn this around for Jumble, because this is not the start that you want. But Yakun is in a really good position right now, and yeah, like, I can tell why Deathslinger was their pick, because Yakun is just on fire, just hitting those really nice shots, just playing super well, and very, very hyper aggressive as well. I really like this play style coming from him.
Yeah, no, it's a really good aggressive play style. I do like the idea of, playing 2 aggressive chases earlier, then you can always just flip back to your original tunnel out like in an instant throughout the game, getting a lot more aggression going through. I think it's actually the adaptation I've seen a few kills come away with recently. It's actually not a bad idea, as we do see you couldn't play aggressively away from this hook, as the death might be coming through into Lively relatively soon, and you could, with a really smart leave there, just going and getting some pop value as the save does come through. But actually, the save doesn't come through onto the death hook though. It's going to be onto King Lion, who will get an extra chance here, but I don't think they get this pull in time. The blocks do come through. No, the nice body there, actually for King Lion to get that pull. And now we're going to be seeing Yakun just taking this grab, maybe taking this hook as well, but Lively is an easy tunnel out right now if you can get him down relatively soon.
Yeah, I was getting quite nervous there. I think Lively almost dying on the hook there, but Jumble played really well to actually prevent Lily from dying there, but nonetheless, there's not a lot of gen pressure happening, and Yakun just catching a Toki here just kind of trying to stealth away or get the unhook. But everyone is injured right now, and Itoko being in deep wound too. And I think Yakun really wants to find Lively maybe and try and get a tunnel out, but missing a shot onto Itoko here. I think this gen here is probably the most progressed gen right now. I imagine that, oh yeah, we do see the reset coming off onto Vermilion. I think they're just going to try and reset and try and bring this back, but yeah, there's a lot of pressure happening right now for Yakun. Yakun just has so much control. We do see Vermilion actually coming in for the save, getting reset by probably Lively to come get that unhook, but gets another tag for it, and Yakun is just going to go for King Lion here, who I believe is Death Hook as well. So if this is a really quick, really nice dodge from King Lion there. But if Yakun can get a quick down onto Lion here, an amazing shot, and that is going to be a down. These shots, oh wow, nice block. Nice block from Itoko here, and Yakun actually opting to pick up Itoko here and not commit to Lion there, but I think he wants another pain res hook. No, that wasn't even a pain res. Oh, sorry. Itoko's already been pain res, but does get popped back. But yeah, opting to pick up Itoko there and not committing to tunnel out Lion there. Well, he does have two Deathhook survivors, either King Lion or Lively, so he can go for either. But he does see Vermilion here, who is our Fresh Hook survivor, I believe, breaking away with that sprint burst, and does catch out Lively here, who is our Deathlook survivor, kind of flailing around, not really sure where he's going, but another amazing shot from Yakun, and that's going to be the down and the death onto Lively at 3 gens remaining.
Yeah, this was an absolute disastrous start here for Jumble. The first race actually wasn't too bad, but I think it was just everything that happened right after the fact that kind of sealed their fate in this game. They had 4 people injured, 3 people in Death Hook at one point in the game. That's quite crazy from Yakun to actually have that much pressure, that much aggression. His shots have been absolutely insane this game. So I mean, it's just been so hard for Jumble to just recover with such aggression, such constant, like high percentage accurate shots coming through. As we will be seeing Vermilion breakaway to this pre-drop pallet. Gonna buy him a little bit of time. He's stuck edge map, and Yakun just gonna be going for shot after shot and connection after connections. Vermilion going down. It will be the last Fresh Hook survivor, I'm pretty sure. So another pain res will be coming through. With a pain res and a potential pop on the most active gen, we could be seeing a 4K at 3 on the Slinger, which is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I think if Yakun opts to go for King Lion here, who is our other Death Hook survivor, get a down and a death onto King Lion, making a 2v1, it will probably most likely end up looking like a 4K3, but we do see some scratchies down at the 6th gen. There's not a lot of progress happening on this gen at the moment, and Yakun's just going to try and have a look, have a gaze to see who this was. And this is our King Lion, so exactly the person that Yakun will probably want to find. King Lion just greeting this pallet, but yeah, just playing it really well, but I think it's going to go down very shortly. Yes, it is the down coming through for King Lion here, and Vermilion does get unhooked in the background. I don't think they'll be bothered about resetting each other. I think they want to try and get at least one more gen done, make it a 4K2, a little bit more achievable, but I don't think... we do see that coming through, so yeah, I think it's going to be a 4K2 result.
Yeah, no, really excellent result coming from Yakun. And a 4K2 on the Deathslingers is absolutely crazy. Like, really well done here. Not expected to get insanely high stages as well on this killer, so really good showing here. I guess we can see why it is Kitchaze's pick, as we'll be seeing the SB coming from Vermilion, going to be using that one to dodge the shot as he's going to be making his way over towards the 2-3 side of the map. As the shot could be coming through, Yakun actually thought that might have landed there, but not quite going to be on the mark. And now Yakun can kind of go for pot shots here, maybe go for a few, style of points shots here. As we're seeing Vermilion kind of is getting zoned into this rock. Can't really break away, but does eventually get that window. And Yakun should probably seal the deal in this chase relatively soon on this.
Yeah, and we do see a beautiful shot once again coming through on to Vermilion here. And Yakun's going to opt to pick this up, pop her on a hook, and going to be looking for a Toko, which I'm not too sure. I think he broke away towards the 9 side of the map, so I think Yakun has a good idea of where he may be. Potentially just stealthing this out. Yakun clicking his gun.
He's out of ammo.
He's just out of ammo. Some happy clicky shots coming through, but Yukun's got to try and look for Itoko around, probably stealthing or maybe try and get the unhook. But yeah, it does actually die on the hook, so maybe potentially playing for gates. We do see a gate at 9, and I'm not too sure where the other one is, but that's probably the kind of their last option of what they can do here.
Yeah, I think the gate split's not very favorable for the Survivor side either, if I'm not mistaken. So we do see a gate there at 9, and we're seeing Yukun just barreling right towards it. We're suspecting the Survivor is here.
Yeah.
And they actually are, and Yukun just absolutely insane. Just gonna be getting a flick shot onto Itoko. Just had just a little bit more star points. I mean, like, why not? An absolutely amazing performance here. And yeah, just going to agi him to this hook, and that's going to be the 4K too. It's going to be insanely hard for Jumble on the killer side here to try and bring this one back. And we'll be seeing a quick 2-0 here for Kitchaze.
Yeah, an amazing performance from Yukun. I can see why it was their pick. His shots were just insane, absolutely on point. But I think a few mistakes from the Jumble Survivor side. If they had fixed those mistakes and not made them, they could have potentially got all gens done, because their first chase was pretty strong, but yeah, just kind of falling apart in the mid game there. But I'm not too sure who will be playing Deathslinger for Jumble, but we are going to be taking a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, gamers, to what potentially might be the last game of the night between Jumble versus Kitchaze, where we just saw Yukun from Kitchaze achieve a 4K2 result, being their pick, which is an amazing result for Deathslinger. And now we're going to be seeing Jumble on the killer side with a 4K3 as their win con that they need to achieve. So we're going to be loading in, and it is Gucci playing the Deathslinger for Jumble. So we did see an amazing performance from Gucci earlier on the Cenobite. So hopefully this might be able to rein it in to get a win for Jumble, and immediately finding Faffy here at the bottom side of the map, getting a really nice early shot. And Faffy's going to be pre-dropping this pallet and kind of playing the wrong side of that pallet and just running into a dead zone here. This is going to be a really quick down. That was, yeah, just breaking away into a dead zone there was not really the play, but really good start for Gucci there.
Yeah, no, we're going to see Faffy getting shot relatively quick and then running into a garbage can there, so that's not ideal. Yeah, Faffy going to be hooked in basement right at the start there, so this is definitely not the start you want if you're trying to, you know, get a... Well, I mean, they only need to pop 4 gens for the win, right? So they're still obviously in control, I would say, but, like, not the greatest start anyway. So Faffy going to be in that basement, going to be going for a nice shot there. Probably has to play in a similar manner to what Yukun did, and just try and land as many long-range shots, get some injures coming through, and maybe get a quick snowball going into this game. But, I mean, with the win count they have set here, Kitchaze doesn't really need to be too stressed out about the save. You know, anytime soon. They could pop a couple of gens for it, maybe get the pull, play around that, and then, you know, get the last 2 gens remaining that they need for that win con. So, despite the quick chase, Gucci's still in a bit of a stressful situation with a nice shot coming through, actually. That is absolutely massive, as this is now going to turn to a trade. And something to note as well is he has those prison chains. He doesn't actually have the cigar, which is what most Deathslingers will run, as he's more interested in Carla, the fresh hook survivor, who ended up going for that unhook, and will be the trade coming through. And yeah, 2 gens popping in the back.
Yeah, so that is the Tycon actually achieved right now. That gem pressure actually really insane on the Kitchaze side. So we are sitting at Tycon currently. So they only need to pop 2 more gens. Oh no, is this a Tycon? I've just lost my mind. It is actually the win con for Gucci, I'm sorry, but if they pop 1 more gen, it is the Tycon. So Gucci needs to play a little bit more aggressive here and try and prevent that last gen from popping if Gucci wants to win this set. But we do catch out Y here, trying to work on this gen. Playing this pallet really nicely, trying to dodge out these shots, but just giving a tag away there. Trying to go for a nice stylish shot there, but not quite getting it, Gucci. But yeah, we don't see anyone coming in for the unhook onto Carla, so I could imagine that they're probably just sitting on gens trying to crank them out. And Y kind of not really check spotting this wall very well, and it's just going to go down for it. Really nice shot, but we do see the unhook coming onto Carla here. One thing to note as well, Peps, is that Gucci still does have pain res, all stacks of pain res, so going for those 2 basement hooks has allowed him to still have access to that. But again, they've got a bit of pressure on that gen over at 7, and he does find Carla here, who is our second stage survivor, still has pain res, so can take a chunk off one of their most progressed gens. But yeah, I think this could go either way. It could really go work very well in Gucci's favor, but also Kitchaze could really bring this back, I think.
Yeah, Kitchaze didn't have the greatest start to this game, but just, you know, from what Yukun did in the last killer game, still in a bit of a decent spot here. But as you said, Gucci doing a good job here of, like, you know, juggling all of these downs, all of these fresh hooks now, and can also play, as you said, cash in the pain res now later on when there's a lot more gen progress spread across the map. But I think Kitchaze here going to be spreading out, maybe having people at someone at 12, I was about to say maybe potentially someone at 3 here looking to play on this gen, but he's also spotted this on the rotation, so not quite any progress on the gen just yet, as we're going to be seeing a shot there onto Meg. Resume, we're going to be shot through that bus, and now going to be making their way to the hook. This could be kind of risky. I'm not too sure about this one. If he gets shot on the save, it's going to be absolutely massive for Gucci, but he's not quite going to get it though. The tires aren't going to allow Resumu to get wrapped around that tire wall, and that could actually be a massive turning point there, as the tire con was actually met in the back during all this as well. I think it was pretty desperate Gucci got that down, but I think that might be the nail in the coffin here.
That was a really nice shot through the tires before. That was crazy. But yeah, we are currently sitting at the tire con. So all Kitchaze need to do is just pop one more gen, and that is the win. But Gucci's going to try and play a little bit more aggressively, try and stop these gens, but really trying to hold that Tycon. But catching up Carla here, who is I think is our Death Hook survivor. So if Gucci can get a quick down and death onto... Wow, I'm not too sure how he missed that, but yeah, if Gucci can get a quick down onto Carla here, and making a 3-to-1 would be huge, but Carla is kind of playing in the right spot away from all the gens, so this might potentially buy enough time for Kitchaze to pop that last gen. But we do see someone breaking away from this gen at 3 at the bus, and it has not a lot of progress, so Gucci's going to apply pop to that. And I think that was the Meg running around from the hook. I think that was Riz, I believe. No, I think this is... I'm not too sure who that is. Oh no, it's Faffy. Faffy dodging out a shot there from Gucci there. Really nice dodge, but Gucci's not too concerned. I think he's a bit more concerned about this last gen popping. Really wants to hold down that Tycon. And we do spot out an injured Meg here.
Ooh.
Riz, really nice shot from Gucci. A lot of Gucci shots tonight have been pretty nice. I haven't seen them play Deathslinger before, but just not enough time. Just, yeah, that's the win con coming through from Kitchaze, taking home a 2-0. So really well played from the Survivor side, despite the kind of rocky start they had in this set, but they were able to rein it back in.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. I mean, Gucci playing this game out like really, really well, actually, but it's just unfortunate when you have that tight of a win con. You unfortunately need a lot of things to go your way, and I can't help but think that maybe if that Meg who got shot for that, you know, risky unhook ended up getting dragged around the top wall and getting slugged at that hook, maybe we could see a potential Tycon coming through, but it wasn't meant to be, as we're seeing Gucci just mind gaming this M1 mind game. It's going to be downing Resumu here, and we'll be hooking him. I don't think they're going to get a gen in time for this either, though. So Gucci right now just playing for a respectable 4K1 potentially.
Yeah, I think at this point Gucci just wants to play for the best result that they can. Maybe get some stylish shots coming through. He does have a bit of a 3-gen to work around, so this might be a 4K1. But we know that they were working on this gen over at 3 earlier, so Gucci's going to go check it out. And we do see them doubling the gen, actually. And they're actually committing to it into the grab, but oh no. And that is the last gen popped. Oh no. This might actually look... Yeah, he's going to hook, but I think it's going to be a 4K0, which is still a pretty decent result for Gucci.
Yeah, no, 4K0, very respectable. Just barely not getting to that gen in time. I'm actually surprised they got it done. It was actually just milliseconds in it. So, I mean, a 4K to a 4K2. I mean, it could have gone either way. That one shot at that table, you know, if that went the other way around, could be completely different. But Gucci having a very good game here. Really good Deathslinger set from both the killer sides, I would say. Both survivor sides making, honestly, somewhat equal mistakes. But, you know, just quite wasn't meant to be. Kitchaze's day today, as we're going to be seeing Y trying to juice up on a TL wall against a Deathslinger. Probably not the best place to be against one of those. And yeah, now the hook going to be coming through from Gucci and locking up a 4K1.
Yeah, really exciting sets between both sides, the Cenobite and the Deathslinger set. But Kitchaze having a bit of a rough start in this set, but able to actually manage to bring it back together, bringing home the win for Kitchaze. And Gucci's just going to be looking at the sky and admiring the view.
It's very green.
Yeah, very green sky, very grim looking indeed. But Gucci had an amazing performance on Cenobite and also very decent performance on Deathslinger as well. Really exciting games to watch.
Yeah, no, it's definitely starting to ramp up the APAC Division now, starting to get towards the end for both Div1 Academy and APAC. So these teams, you know, starting to reach their peaks, I suppose, heading into the finals series. But is there any last words you'd like to say, Matt, before we wrap things up?
Oh, I just want to say thank you, Peps, for casting with me tonight. It's been always have fun casting with you. Have a few jokes, some banter. It's been really good, and these games have been very exciting. And you know, congratulations to Kitchaze and Source for taking the W tonight. Really well played from both sides, and yeah, thank you again, Peps.
No, thank you for casting, Matt. It's always enjoyable casting with you, friend. As we're going to be actually wrapping up now. That was the last matchup for tonight. But tomorrow we actually have probably the, I'd say, game day of the week. So if you're going to tune into DeadbyOCE, you better come in tomorrow. We're going to be seeing Skirmish versus Lazarus, which will always be a spicy matchup. I think it's a bit of a rivalry there. So we have Geztrix, the likes of Gunther as well on the Blight. I'm not too sure if actually Blight is in the set, but regardless, very high micro players in that set, so very entertaining. We're going to be seeing Lager versus Inception. I mean, that is just a hallmark matchup there. It's going to be absolutely insane. Do not miss that. And JDL versus Vortex, which is also going to be very entertaining, so don't miss that. But yeah, no, we're going to be wrapping things up now. Make sure to come in tomorrow for those games. Make sure to follow the Twitch. Go into the Discord as well. Follow the Twitter. We follow all the social things, you know. And yeah, it's been a pretty amazing night tonight. Some really cool games, and we'll be catching you guys tomorrow. Peace out.